Ah, the thinking tree. Good morning. I consider myself to be a relatively tolerant person. I can be sort of short and nasty if you get on the wrong side of me, which I'm not particularly proud of. But generally speaking, I'm a pretty tolerant person. I consider myself to be pretty liberal. I don't care what anyone does. I'm not interested in anyone's sexuality or race or anything. Knock yourself out. Do what you like. Enjoy your life. And don't disturb others. Especially don't harm others. And having opinions is okay. Being insulting is also okay. But then expect insults back. But what really irks me about today's culture, I'm just looking at these, I'm just looking at these silver birches because the sun's coming up and the forest is so dark. But the silver birches are just so silver. Anyway, I digress. um, cancel culture. I despise cancel culture. You have the right to offend somebody. If somebody's offended, that's okay. That's their right to be offended. And so what? You should have the right to your opinion. However ill-gotten that opinion is, it should be okay to express that opinion. And if somebody else is insulted or upset by that, that's not your problem. And even if I really dislike what some people say, it's their right to say it. It's also my right then to counteract that in the way I see fit. So if you're going to insult me or whatever, then expect something back. And it's perfectly okay to be openly racist if you want to be openly racist. I want that. I want people to be openly racist. Why would I want people to be openly racist? Because only by them being openly racist can I hear their words and attack them or change their mind. If I don't let them speak their words, if I don't let them speak their mind, there's no way I can counteract that. If I cancel them, they will go underground with the same opinion. Their opinion won't change. They'll still have the same opinion. They will just be underground. Whereas if I let them speak openly in an open forum, then I can speak out against them and possibly change their mind. So I want free speech. I'm an advocate of free speech. I want people to be able to say whatever they want, however they like, and no speech should be limited. It's an expression of yourself, and you have the right to express yourself in any way you see fit, as long as it causes no physical harm to anybody. If you're not inciting violence, telling people to go and kill people, for example, then I don't see the problem. I know there's a grey area there, but I would rather lean on the side of more freedom and whittle away at the grey area rather than lean on the side of be conservative and just abolish. I think you have the right to express yourself, and I think others have the right to counteract or discuss or argue or attack your opinion if they choose to, if they see fit. And I was talking to my daughter about this the other day, which is an interesting conversation, which had just occurred to me as I was walking on my morning walk, which is what the thinking tree is about. It's about me walking, and when I get to this tree, if I've got something to talk about, I will sit and do my video. And the conversation was about people we know and have known as friends and colleagues or whatever that are totally different to us. I've talked about my colleague that I have at the moment, a lovely girl. I love her. I think she's great. And we couldn't be more different. She's loud and bubbly and straight in your face and younger. And I'm older and quieter and calmer. But we get on like a house on fire. I wouldn't want to work with anybody else, and I don't think she would want to work with anybody else at the moment. We just love each other. And in any other circumstance, you might think, that's completely weird, this shouldn't work. And it probably wouldn't. And I'm sure that there are episodes in life where if we met each other on the wrong foot, there would be sparks, or massive explosions, or nuclear bombs. We get on. And I've known people like that plenty of times in my life, people who have completely different opinions to me, things I just cannot agree with, including people who are totally racist in their opinions. They don't see themselves as racist, but they are, including one person who was a black guy who I also got on really well with. Great, but he was total racist. And it didn't stop me liking him. And I'd argue against him. And I'd call him what he is. You're a racist. You are. Sorry, you are. And that's okay. You can still get on with people that you have a different opinion to. And not only that, this is the conversation with my daughter again. She was saying, and rightly so, that not only do you get on with them, but they might have other qualities that are endearing, or qualities that where you think, but I don't like that part, I don't agree with your politics, I don't agree with your taste in music, and I don't agree with this, and I don't agree with that, but that part of you is great, and I'll have a piece of that. And you become inspired by that part of them. I wish I was more like that. So it's very nuanced. You can be with somebody who you have very little in common with, lots of things that you disagree with, but you can still find something in them where you think, but that's really good, and I'm not like that, and that's a shame, I should be more like that. So you can sort of be inspired by people, even if their opinion is totally different than yours. I get on with so many people in my job where it just does not and should not fit at all. But I'm sort of forced to through my job to do that. But it's not just that, I'm forced to. In fact, it's not that at all. I like to. I find it refreshing and nice that you can get on with people. You can find a connection to people where you're so different. Like they're so much older and from a totally different generation and have completely different opinions. And yet, that's irrelevant because people are people. And just one more thing that occurred to me in this, when I'm thinking about this, is I think about the times, and it's happened unfortunately quite a lot because I am an impulsive person, or can be, where I've had a confrontation with somebody on the street or in a car or whatever, one of those moments where someone pulls out and one of those, and you're at each other's throats. That's a situation that sparks something off. It sparks off an anger in you, and it sparks off an anger in the other, and it explodes into something entirely out of proportion and completely ridiculous. But if you could take all of the anger out of that situation and just see the two people, and in fact put them in another situation, if I met him in any other situation, I probably couldn't imagine him being so horrible. I'd defend him to other people. No, he's a nice guy, he'd never do anything like that. There would be something where you can find common ground on, and even quite possibly you could be best friends and get on really well like a house on fire. But you've made contact with them in an unfortunate situation, a set of circumstances which has created this friction. But that's not the entire person. That's not all you are. So cancel culture is horrible because it does exactly that. You have this opinion, therefore you are all of these things. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. But no, I'm not. That one opinion that I have does not mean that my entire character is now this. You support Trump, therefore you're a racist, you're a homophobe. Hang on a second. There might be millions of reasons why I support Trump or Biden or anybody else. But you're taking that one thing and you're now casting aspersions on my entire personality. You're just assuming a whole big bunch of things. That's what people do these days. And they will cancel you for that entire spectrum of opinion that they have about you because of one single thing that you think. That they haven't even bothered to find out why you think that thing. They're not interested. They're interested in stamping you with one single stamp for everything. You think this, therefore you are. That's just horrific, and it's fascistic. This is the rise of a new fascism that I do not like at all. It has to stop. I don't think, on the one hand, I don't think it'll last. I think it'll peter out because I don't think people are really like that. And on the other hand, I'm afraid that there's a long way to go before it peters out. Intolerant as I might be sometimes, I know that to be wrong. And you have to allow people their opinions, however much you don't like them. If you start to practice that, you start to realize that the people who have completely different opinions to you, completely different personalities, that you can still get on with and find something inspiring in them. And bear in mind that situations are purely situations. And when you meet somebody in a certain situation, that is not the entirety of their character. Everybody has a story. Everybody's bearing their cross. Everybody has pain. Everybody has nice things, beautiful things in them. People are nuanced. People are like this forest that I'm looking at. It's not just a forest. That's it. You're just this. Oh, you've got a birch tree in your forest, therefore. No, I've got birch trees, oak trees, ivy, undergrowth, animals. It's nuanced. It's full of billions of things all interacting with each other to produce the forest. And people are the same. But maybe it's good to bear in mind that maybe people are more than just what you think they are. To allow people that space and to give them the benefit of the doubt. You don't know, so benefit them with doubt. Say, okay, I'll give you space to prove yourself. I'll give you space to let me find out what you are. And there might be things you don't like and hate. And there will be things that you think, that's okay. And there may be some little treasures in there that you think, wow, I didn't expect that. That's amazing. I'll have some of that. Because we are more than this cancel culture, black and white thinking makes us out to be. It's bad. It makes things really so much worse. It's training people to think in this for us or against us and them kind of thinking. Allow people their expression, and they'll express horrible things, but they'll also express beautiful things, and you have to take both. You can't just have the beauty. A forest isn't just lovely, it's full of dead stuff. It's dangerous. It can be horrible. That's part of the beauty.